After being a wealthy heiress for 17 years, she was suddenly kicked out of the family. It turned out her adoptive parents discovered they had taken the wrong child. She actually belonged to an ordinary family. Her parents were not only poor and powerless, but also had four good-for-nothing sons. When she answered, the voice on the other end clearly called out her name, Yao Yao. Huo Yao replied, "The homeroom teacher told me today." It was because the security guard had a sudden stomachache, but Huo Yao understood this was the work of malicious people. On the other side, Huo Yang, dressed up meticulously, also arrived at the Imperial City Museum. He came to see the precious Western Zhou jade disc in the museum's monitoring room. The subordinate told Yang Yi that everything was normal. Seeing his brother's professional and rigorous attitude, Yang Yi was very satisfied, so he took off his gloves and opened his computer. Sure enough, he found that someone had invaded the monitoring system in the morning. But the subordinate said there were no abnormal situations, and the items in the exhibition hall were fine. The subordinate was also puzzled. Brother Yang had set up a firewall, but we didn't receive any alarm messages. Yang Yi is the world's seventh-ranked hacker. The firewall he set up is almost impenetrable unless number 6 came at this time. Minyu also arrived. Yang Yi reported that there was nothing unusual in the exhibition hall, but the monitoring system had been invaded. Min Yu asked expectantly what they had found out. Yang Yi sat at the computer and started working. He could only trace the intrusion if to Beijing. This person's method was very clever. Their technology might be above mine. It must be number 6 of doing. Min Yu's eyes were determined as if everything was within expectations. It seems the fish has taken the bait. Something big is about to happen. Wearing a baseball cap and black mask, he appeared at the artifact exhibition site. Looking at this outfit, I knew something wasn't right. This exhibition attracted a large number of visitors. The legendary Western Zhou jade disc was exhibited to the public for the first time, and based on this priceless treasure, people were peaceful. There are two super difficult characters on the jade disc. This input method can't be familiar. Whoever can type them out in the comments. I'll call you a master not far from the jade disc display. As Huo Yao got more agitated, Minyu stroked her head, comforting her. Young lady, don't be so serious, it's not cute at all. Huo Yao discovered two strange-looking people. The two were whispering to each other non-stop. Suddenly the lights went out, the whole place was pitch black and in chaos. Oh no, why did the lights go off? Whose head is this on the ground? Turn on the lights quickly. Who's groping around at this moment? Wei Yad gently pressed her glasses and the lenses emitted a white light. I thought it was for lighting, but when she looked at the Jade Emperor's safe, I realized I was being shallow, only to see infrared lines covering all around. It seems they were prepared. What Wei Ya didn't expect was that all the surveillance in the venue was infrared. The interior could be seen clearly, while on the screen Mi Li was staring intently. Yes, this Western Zhou jade disc belongs to the Miu family. He set up this trap, using the jade disc as bait just to catch the crucial carp jade disc, but now the exhibition hall is in chaos. All traps must be deactivated immediately, otherwise it will harm the visiting guests. Unexpectedly, the thief was so lazy, actually using the visitors' happiness to force the deactivation of the security devices. Li Yu wasn't flustered at all. He calmly ordered the security guards to kneel down. Following the order, the security guards immediately sealed off this area. They closed the first and second floors and activated infrared alerts. At the same time, they activated the signal jammer. A series of security measures were immediately in place, but with the exhibition hall security system shut down. Hearing this, Huo Yao exploded. She pushed Minyu's hand away and said angrily, "You're so annoying." Minyu just laughed heartily because Wei Yao's angry face was too cute. Now anyone can easily approach the Western Zhou jade disc's display. Wei Yao knew very clearly that the museum was full of surveillance. Even if they got the item, they might not be able to escape safely. At this moment, those two suspicious people from earlier exchanged a glance, nodding to indicate they should act now, so they walked straight towards the jade disc safe, but these two were known as the two idiots. With just this little trick, they still thought they could steal the jade disc. The others had probably already set up traps, but the two idiots didn't live up to their name. They took out a laser pen and started cutting. While they were focused on their work, security guards had already silently appeared behind them. But in Huo Yao's eyes, this was the best opportunity. That's right, our big shot was also here to borrow the jade disc. He just flicked his wrist, and instantly the screams in the monitoring room froze. At this time, Men Yu realized it was signal interference. She stood up nervously and immediately noticed the person wearing the baseball cap, but through all the surveillance. That person hadn't raised their head since entering the exhibition hall. No identity information could be found. She couldn't even dream that it was the one she had been thinking about. In the exhibition hall, Huo Yao was taking advantage of this opportunity to approach. The two were about to cut open the display case. Just as the two idiots reached out to grab the treasure, suddenly, whoosh. The display case in front of them was suddenly empty. The two were instantly dumbfounded, and the jade disc had just appeared in Huo Yao's hand, but Huo Yao instantly realized this was a fake. The stepmother took out 300 yuan, asking Yang Lin not to bother grandmother anymore. What a waste! I spent 50 yuan on a taxi to see a fake thing while the two idiots were still complaining on the spot. Who is this? Can you be more considerate? Respect our labor. Suddenly, whoosh, the jade disc appeared again. At this point, the two completely broke down. Indeed, in martial arts, only speed is unbeatable. Is this the legendary Chinese horror? Huo Yao had already walked towards the crowd. He adjusted his cap, preparing to turn and leave, but the exit was already blocked. The surveillance would return to normal and at most 10 seconds. He must disappear within this time, of course. This is no challenge for me. I've already hacked into the museum's back end before coming. I've memorized the layout of the passages. I can only start from here, so he triggered the fire alarm. What a mess! Huo Yao had finally borrowed an exhibit for the artifact exhibition, only to find out it was a high-quality fake. Now this is great, not only wasted 50 yuan on taxi fare, but also had to figure out how to escape, to comfort Huo Yao and support my fans. Just type my name in the comments and I'll immediately send you a virtual hug. Don't believe me? Try it and see. At this moment, all the passages in the exhibition hall were sealed off, but this was hardly a challenge for Huo Yao. He took advantage of the chaos to trigger the fire alarm. The already chaotic crowd, upon hearing the alarm, their desire to escape, drove them to surge into the lit emergency exits en masse, just like that. Huo Yao squeezed out of the exhibition hall with the crowd in the last second before the surveillance cameras recovered. At this time, Li Yu and his group also arrived at the lobby. Wei Ya was called to grandmother's house, not having seen each other for a long time. Yang Yi told his boss that the two foreigners who committed the crime had been caught, but they confessed that the person who took the jade buy and put it back wasn't one of them. At this moment, assistant Zhou Yun also came to report to the boss. The person you asked me to investigate left no information records whatsoever. It's as if they appeared out of thin air. Yang Yi asked in surprise, "Who are you talking about?" Zhou Yun then showed Yang Yi the surveillance photos. At this point, Yang Yi suddenly realized, could this be the person who stole the flying aspired 2 years ago? Li Yu replied with unusual calmness, "I'm certain." At the same time, he secretly vowed, "No matter who you are, I will definitely catch you." And so, the artifact exhibition incident came to an end after coming out. Huo Yao opened his phone and saw several missed calls from the principal. He quickly called back, "Xiao Huo, you finally turned on your phone." Huo Yao apologized, explaining, "I just went out shopping and my phone ran out of battery." The principal didn't ask further and excitedly told Huo Yao, "You ranked first in the nation for this national competition finals. I'll send you a pass in a moment. Come quickly to King Huai University's comprehensive building to fill out some documents for your guaranteed admission." It's really enviable. Just went out to visit an artifact exhibition and got admitted to the capital's top university. Wei Yao quickly rushed to King Huai University's office. He carefully filled out the relevant documents. At this time, King Huai University's most prestigious physics professor. The blonde female professor Wei Yao had met earlier when visiting the physics department, also came to the office. She anxiously asked the principal, "I heard this guaranteed admission student solved all of last year's ultimate Olympic questions." The principal replied proudly, "Yes, those questions were a piece of cake for him. If only he had come to our school last year, if he had participated in the competition, then forget about international rankings." They both missed each other. Grandmother was cooking delicious food for her. Wei Ya stood beside grandmother chatting, "I've missed your cooking so much. Today I'll have 2 extra bowls." Hearing this, grandmother's face showed a long absent smile. Even winning the championship wouldn't have been impossible. Just as Huo Yao finished filling out the application form, the female professors snatched it away. When she saw that Huo Yao had filled in biology as his major, she felt her blood pressure skyrocket. She blurted out with such good physics scores, "Why didn't you choose physics as your major?" Huo Yao calmly replied, "I'm more interested in biology." The professor became extremely agitated upon hearing this. "What's so good about biological research? I think you're a physics genius. Quickly change it. Such talent shouldn't be wasted." Huo Yao was completely stunned. Is it even allowed to force someone to change their major? Fortunately, the principal noticed Huo Yao's discomfort and intervened. The choice of major should be based on the student's personal interests. Moreover, old Zhao also wants to take Xiao Huo as his student. We can't force this matter. The female professor suddenly understood. "I was wondering why you were in such a hurry to drag me away when we met Xiao Hu with Zhao Lion last time. So you had this intention. You deliberately didn't let me know about Xiaohu's scores so you could snatch him for the biology department. You're so scheming." Realizing that forcefully recruiting wouldn't work today, the female professor instantly switched to a gentle demeanor. "There's no rush in choosing a major. Child, go home and think about it more. Here, add me on WeChat first if you have any questions about physics. You can ask me anytime." Huo Xiao, seeing she wasn't forcing him anymore, quickly took out his phone and obediently added her on WeChat, but as soon as she turned around, the female professor was fuming. Wei Ya thought to herself, "Grandmother's condition is worse than before I left. This must have something to do with the Liu family." Just as she was thinking what to do, an urgent doorbell interrupted. "Old Zhao, you just wait. Poor Professor Zhao, who knows if he can handle this scolding." Fatty Paxia, holding the trophy and certificate of honor, walked out of King Hawa University with the principal. The principal said meaningfully, "Next is the international competition. That's where the real masters gather. Questions like today's would only be considered elementary level in the international competition." In the past, even students who ranked first nationally couldn't make it into the top 10 in the international competition. At this point, the principal suddenly stopped walking and turned to look at Hayao. "Xiao Huo, you're the only student in recent years to achieve a perfect score and rank first in all exams. I think you have a chance to break into the top 10 and set a new record for our country in the international competition rankings." At this moment, the two were standing by the roadside facing a traffic light. The principal had a bitter smile, not daring to hope for too much. Breaking into the top 10 would be enough. Huo Yao had been quietly listening to the principal speak just as the red light had 3 seconds left. Huo Yao suddenly spoke, "I think you can set your goal more precisely." The principal was taken aback for a moment, seemingly not understanding. At this moment, the green light turned on. Huo Yao was the first to step onto the crosswalk. He looked back casually and said, "For example, getting first place." The principal's eyes widened. His first thought was, young people are truly fearless, like newborn calves, not afraid of tigers, but seeing the confident figure before him, the principal suddenly felt an unprecedented sense of aspiration. This episode has a lot of big shots. The transitions are abrupt, but it's important for the plot development, so it must be told. After the exam, Wei Yu was waiting at the airport, enjoying Fourth Brothers' album. Suddenly, he received a strange text message. "Such a big commotion at the Beijing Cultural Relics exhibition. Could it be your doing? Who is this? How do they know Huo Yao so well? To think of Huo Yao for such a thing, of course, he couldn't admit it." She was surprised to see Huo Yao at the door. The person seemed to know Huo Yao well. They began to exchange pleasantries. Just then, a classmate called out that it was time to board. Only then did Huo Yao rush towards the boarding gate with a crowd. Come quick, it's time for mischief, the final challenge of the national competition. Guess the idiom from the picture. If you get it right, all livestream breaking stones on my chest. See you in the comments." When Hayao returned home and just opened the door, suddenly 2 loud bangs, confetti rained down on Hayao. Hayao was completely stunned. Dad spoke first. "Congratulations to our family's academic star for winning first place in the national competition." With that, Mom and Dad gave a big hug, pleasantly surprised. Wu Yao said he brought gifts for everyone, so he handed them out to everyone. When fourth brother opened his package, he found it was a large panda cane. Quite annoyed, he asked sister, why did second brother get steal? While I got a doll, he thought to himself, she must think I'm the little brother, perhaps not just a little brother who bites. Clearing his throat, he explained disdainfully, fourth brother, don't all your fans call you a mascot? The national treasure is also a mascot. Don't you think it suits you? Second brother felt gratified, finally winning a round. At this time, Mom anxiously asked if there were any trophies or certificates. Wei Yao had to take them out to show Mom. Indeed, the parents of academic stars are all the same. It was the stepmother's family. Seeing Hu Yao, she said contemptuously, why are you here saying this? The family went straight inside, not paying any attention to her. Mom and Dad neatly arranged the trophy, certificate, and most importantly, the university admission letter on the table. They began taking photos from various angles. That's right, they're going to post it. Let the neighbors and extended family all know that the Hu family has produced a top student while the family was celebrating joyfully. The eldest brother stood alone outside the window. At this moment, his mood was heavy. He didn't have the courage to go in. He felt that no matter what he did, he couldn't make up for his misunderstanding and the harm he had caused his sister. Perhaps his appearance would only disrupt the family's peaceful atmosphere. Tonight was destined to be a sleepless night. Another person bound to lose sleep was Lu Shaw on the other side. When he saw Huosa's social media post, he was so angry he exploded on the spot. He threw his phone away in rage. Hu Xiao, always Hu Xiao, why is he everywhere? I don't understand. Someone who was mediocre and unremarkable in the previous life seems like a completely different person in this life. In the previous life, he was weak-willed and bullied, a poor student. But now why is everything so different? The more Lu Sha thought about it, the angrier he became as he stood up. Could it be that this guy has also been reborn? Half a year ago, Lu Sha learned that his birth parents were from the wealthy Lu family. Without hesitation, he abandoned the Hu family and returned to the Lu family. He thought life would get better and better, but on a quiet night, he had a strange dream. Various images flashed through his mind when he opened his eyes at that moment. He suddenly realized he had been reborn, but he complained about the unfairness of fate. In the living room, Liu Zia said coquettishly, Grandmother, Mom specially bought you a set of jade jewelry, but Grandmother's thoughts were on Hu Yao. Seeing her left aside, she couldn't help but feel guilty, thinking if she had known they were coming. Since he was given the chance to be reborn, why did he have to be reborn after returning to the Liu family? Only now did he realize that the Hu family were truly good people. The Liu family couldn't compare to the Hu family at all. At this point, Luxia also faced reality. It was impossible to go back to the past and become the Hu family's daughter again. Since the facts couldn't be changed, there was no use in overthinking. He suddenly opened his eyes, his gaze determined. He silently vowed, in this life, I absolutely won't repeat the mistakes of my previous life. I will use the memories from my previous life to carve out my own brilliant path. Hu Yao, whether you've been reborn or not, I will crush you under my feet. That's the end of this episode. Was it confusing? Those who understood, please summarize. Hu Yao came to force his brother to take medicine again suddenly. Brother felt the buns weren't appetizing anymore. He was completely against it in his heart. Then Hu Yao said, I see your liver fire is strong lately. I specially bought this to clear heat and detoxify. The naive fourth brother held the medicine with a confused look. He thought there's not even a label, it's clearly an uncertified product. He wanted to politely refuse. No, I'm not having any inflammation. But Huo Yao suddenly glared angrily. If I say you have it, you have it. Fourth brother had never seen such a situation. He immediately became submissive. Okay, he asked cautiously, do I just drink it directly like this? Huo Yao said irritably. I'm waiting for you at the exit. I'm your eldest brother, Huo Yanxi. It turned out her parents' side knew she was coming and the whole family had been eagerly waiting. She wouldn't have asked Yao Yao to come. Then the stepmother said, try it on, see if you like it. Grandmother calmly replied, at my age, I don't like wearing these things. I could give you an injection instead. Seeing this, fourth brother had no choice but to drink it all in one go. Satisfied, Hu Yao finally went to school. Whoever can type out this character in the comments will surely have good luck coming their way. But shortly after Hu Yao left, fourth brother suddenly felt unwell. A burning heat started from his spine and spread throughout his body. Fourth brother's unusual condition worried second brother greatly. He anxiously asked what was wrong. Fourth brother, with a blissful expression, said, "After drinking sister's medicine, I suddenly felt a warm sensation in my wound and indescribable comfort." Second brother suddenly remembered the medicine his sister had given him earlier. His old ailment hadn't recurred since. Some kind of heat clearing and detoxifying. It sounds like it's from Hujo. Perhaps it's just right for fourth brother's condition. He continued, "Sister wouldn't give you medicine without reason. To be safe, you need a comprehensive checkup." So Wushan contacted Tom Wugong. Tan Yu was very pleased, thinking Huixiang had finally come around. He used his connections to arrange an appointment with Master Pei, a traditional Chinese medicine expert. He didn't forget to remind Huixiang that the master's family had been in traditional Chinese medicine for generations. Be polite later, who knows, he might be able to cure this illness. Soon after Master Pei arrived, the two greeted him politely. Then Tan Yu handed over all of Huixiao's overseas medical examinations and diagnoses for Master Pei to review. Then she smiled at Hu Yao and said, "Yao Yao, why don't you take a look? Do you like it? If not, take it back for your mother to wear." The stepmother suddenly stood up, shouting angrily, "Mom, are you crazy? Do you know how much this jade is worth?" Master Pei put on his reading glasses and studied them carefully. Then he asked Huixiao to extend his hand. After taking his pulse, Master Pei immediately noticed something odd about Huixiang's condition. He had been poisoned some time ago. Feng Yu was very confused upon hearing this. A few months ago, he did injure his bones. Later, spinal nerve damage was unexpectedly discovered. As for poisoning, that wasn't detected in any tests. Master Pei explained, some poisons can't necessarily be detected in blood tests during the early stages. Feng Yu excitedly asked, "Do you mean his nerve damage was caused by poisoning? If so, would he be cured once the poison is neutralized?" But Master Pei said the poison had already been neutralized, and quite recently at that, Han Yu was now confused again. "What does this mean? Could it be the medicine I got from you last time? He's been taking it regularly." Master Pei, thinking of that S-grade medicine, still looked surprised. Yuqing pills can indeed neutralize poison and repair damaged nerves, but I think he must have taken other medicine as well. At this point, Huo Xing fell into deep thought. Then he took out the medicine Huo Yao had given him. "Please take a look at this." Master Pei took the bottle. He just opened it and smelled it, then asked with a surprised look, "Where did you get this medicine?" Huo Shang said it was from a friend. Master Pei excitedly asked, "Is your friend studying medicine?" Thinking of his sister still in high school, Huo Shang shook his head and said no. At this moment, Huo Shang nervously clenched his fists with eyes full of hope. He asked, "Since the poison in my body has been neutralized now." Seeing her daughter's attitude, the grandmother innocently said, "Didn't you give it to me?" "How I handle it is my business." The stepmother, unable to do anything about the grandmother, turned her anger towards Wu Yao. "You little brat. So this was your purpose in getting close to grandma. Does that mean my spinal nerve problem is completely cured?" Lade Chang thought Master Pei seemed hesitant to speak. Then he shook his head, seeing this. Huo Zhang's mood plummeted. He felt he had reached the lowest point in his life, so it still doesn't work after all. However, Master Pei suddenly said excitedly, "Don't underestimate your miracle, Dr. Friend. Congratulations, you're cured, my goodness. I'm so excited." Fourth brother is finally cured. The stage king who can sing and dance is back. Thanks to our lucky star, Big Brother Huo Yang, another big event is about to happen. The green tea video is about to go viral. His target is actually fourth brother, who's a celebrity. Type out this character in the comments, and you'll never encounter such petty people in your life. Just leaving Master Pei's place, the two were in exceptionally good spirits. They had finally conquered the illness. Hong Yu curiously asked who gave the medicine, saying it must be Wat Chuo reincarnated. Hu Shan proudly answered it was from his sister. Hong Yu excitedly punched Hu Shan, grinning as he said, "Remember to buy lots of gifts for our sister later." "Count me in too. If it weren't for her, you'd probably still be wallowing in self-pity. Now your temper's finally improved. We must thank her properly indeed." When Huo Xian heard Master Pei say, "Congratulations, you're cured," he felt like he was dreaming. "My sister truly is my lucky star." Using an old person's kindness to swindle money, she continued smugly, "If you need money, you can ask me directly." No need to cling to the elderly. Hearing this, Huo Yao felt the stepmother was too pitiful. The frequency of her outbursts was increasing. How can she be so amazing? He then asked the driver to bring the car around. Today, he must personally pick up his sister from school. In the car, Lu Xian called Hu Xian, but he just silently looked at Tan Yu after thinking for a while. He asked, "Why aren't you answering?" Hu Shang replied, "No need to bother with scam calls." Tang Yu understood and added, "There are so many scam calls these days, just block them in the future." Hu Shang nodded thoughtfully, then urged, "Drive faster. My sister is about to finish school." Tang Yu complained, "The pedal's already on the floor from your tone. One would think your sister is only 3 years old." Meanwhile, Lu Sha's manager urgently pressed her to find who owes Sean and get him on a variety show. This was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Of course, under the tree, anxiously, I called my fourth brother early in the morning, but no one answered. This had never happened before, so I called him again in person, still no answer at this point. I was panicking inside, but I tried to stay calm. Maybe fourth brother was just too busy seeing this situation. The agent said sarcastically, "I heard your brother was injured, he's on leave now." Lu Sha was very surprised to hear this. She hadn't heard any news, she said uncertainly. "No, I don't think so," the agent laughed awkwardly. "I just heard it. You're his sister. If you say it's not true, then it's not. Anyway, you need to hurry up." After saying this, he said goodbye to Luzia. The agent's words reminded her. The reborn Luzia indeed remembered that Huo Zion had been injured in her previous life. It caused a big stir in the city at that time. He even gave up singing because of it. But back then, she was so focused on Lu Zhao that she couldn't remember the exact time as she stood there in a daze. Seeing Hu Yao's silence, the stepmother persisted. "Tell me, how much money do you want to leave grandma alone? 100, 000, 200, let's say 300, enough for your family to live on for a few years." At this point, Wei Ya burst into laughter as if she'd heard the funniest joke ever. A luxury car pulled up in front of her. Luzia immediately recognized that the person getting out was Hu Zhang's agent. It was like finding him after searching everywhere, and suddenly he appeared right before her eyes. The green tea bitch was actually trying to frame a celebrity to get ahead. Just as fourth brother was worrying about how to find Hu Xian, Liu Xian saw Hu Xian's agent, so she politely approached and asked, "Are you my fourth brother's agent, Mr. Tang?" Who can type out this character in the comments? I'll tear this little green tea bitch apart with my bare hands at this moment. Tan Yu didn't know what was going on and greeted her warmly. Lu Sha then asked about her fourth brother. Tan Yu told her that Hu Shang was in the car. Lu Sha's face immediately darkened, she understood at once. Hu Shang had blocked her phone number and came personally to pick up Hu Yao, suppressing her anger. She went forward and knocked on the car window. Hu Cheng rolled down the glass and asked coldly, "Do you need something?" Lu Sha forced a smile and said, "Fourth brother, I called you but no one answered, were you busy?" Hu Cheng replied expressionlessly, "Yes, I was busy." At this moment, Tan Yu suddenly understood what was going on. This bastard was really bad, he had just tricked me. Saying it was a scammer calling, seeing her fourth brother's attitude, Lu Sha immediately started acting. She said pitifully, "Fourth brother, are you still angry about what I did before? I'm sorry." When JHA was young and didn't know better than but who Oh Shan didn't want to listen, he interrupted her directly. "I only have one real sister. As for you, we have no blood relation. You shouldn't call me fourth brother anymore." The tone changed. As for what happened before, there's no point in talking about it now. Seeing her fourth brother's cold attitude, Lu Sha's eyes filled with tears. "Fourth brother, do you have to be like this? Even if we're not related by blood, we've been siblings for over a decade, but who Oh Sha wasn't falling for this." He knew this self-interested woman very well. "So you want to use this to get me to take you to the variety show again? I already clearly refused when you said Big Brother to ask me last time. Didn't Big Brother tell you?" The stepmother was confused. "What are you laughing at?" Wei Ya composed herself a bit and calmly said, "Just 300. After all that talk, I thought you were going to offer me 30 million. At this point, Lu Sha really panicked. She acted out of character and directly banged. "Can you help me just this once?" Just then, Hu Sheng saw Hu Yao coming out. He coldly said, "Sorry, I don't have that kind of goodwill." Then he started rolling up the car window. "I'm here to pick up my real sister. To avoid unnecessary misunderstandings, you should leave quickly." Luzia, who hadn't succeeded, finally showed her true nature. "Hu Xian, I'll make you regret this." At this moment, Huo Yao walked right past her. also ignoring Lucia, slapping her face once again. Back home, Lucia decided to do something big, so she asked her agent if he knew anyone at Hugh Xian's management company. She said she had some personal business and wanted a contact. The agent introduced someone named Jin to Lu Sha. Lu Sha greeted her teeth and swore, "I put aside my pride and begged you, but you're so heartless. If you're not kind, don't blame me for being unkind." You've never seen a principal like this. To bring honor to the school, he repeatedly tricked students. Earlier, without Hugh Yao's knowledge, he secretly registered her for the national knowledge competition. Hugh Yao accidentally won first place nationally. She was then admitted to the best university in Beijing. Just after returning, the principal teamed up with the English teacher to trick Hugh Yao into participating in an English-speaking competition. Hugh Yao initially refused, but the principal said there was a 100 yuan scholarship for first place. Hearing this, Ryle continued, "If you don't even have 30 million, I wouldn't dare say those things earlier. It's too embarrassing." Hugh Yao immediately signed up. The money didn't matter. It was mainly an opportunity to practice, it must be said. The principal really knew how to handle Hugh Yao. Who can type out this character in the comments? All live streams splitting a durian with one hand. Soon the English competition arrived. Unsurprisingly, our boss Hugh Yao easily won first place. Returning victorious once again, her parents were overjoyed seeing their daughter's award announcement. At this moment, Wei Yao suddenly handed the prize check to her father, casually saying, "This is a gift for your new car, please choose one yourself." Her father held the check tightly to his chest, not knowing what to say for a moment, although it was only 100, not even enough to buy an umbrella for Rolls-Royce. This filial act moved her father to tears. Just as her father was about to say something emotional, daughter Wei Yao interrupted him, turning to say, "I'll take a call first." Her father immediately covered his mouth, afraid that any sound might disturb Hu Yao. The person calling Hu Yao was Menyu's assistant, Zhu Yu, the anxious voice on the other, and asked Miss Hu, "I want to know where you bought that calming incense before. Do you still have that person's contact information?" Wei Yao sensed something was wrong and quickly asked what happened. Zhou Yun was calling behind Minyu's back, but too worried about the main month. He stammered and told Wei Yao that Minyu had an acute attack and wanted to ask the divine doctor from Zhixiang to take a look. After hearing this, Wei Yao's eyes widened with tension. She quickly asked, "Where are you now?" Soon, Hu Yao arrived at the address Zhou Yun had given. This wave of sarcasm and mockery left the stepmother fuming. In verbal sparring, Hayao was a professional. Afterwards, Hayao said goodbye to her grandmother and went home. When the doorbell rang, Zhou Yun thought the divine doctor had arrived and excitedly opened the door to welcome them. But he found only Hu Yao and couldn't help feeling a bit disappointed. Nevertheless, he forced a smile and said, "Miss Huo, you're here. Has the person with the incense not arrived yet?" Hu Yao calmly replied no, hearing this. Zhou Yun became very anxious but tried not to show it. He could only invite her in first. As soon as Hu Yao entered, she saw the pale-faced Menu and involuntarily quickened her steps. Menu was surprised to see Hu Yao. Due to excitement, she suddenly started coughing. With fresh blood seeping from the corners of her mouth, her lips were completely bloodless. The situation seemed very serious this time, a deliberate attempt to harm. Menu was injured while saving Yu Yao. Subsequently, it triggered an emergency. Reaching the point of coughing up blood, the situation was extremely urgent. Even the renowned Dr. Pei was at a loss, fortunately. Hu Yao arrived in time. Can someone in the comments tell me what this character is? I'll reply with 3 heart emojis with a surprised expression. Minyu wiped the blood from the corner of her mouth and, enduring the pain, greeted Hu Yao. This sudden violent coughing of blood frightened Dr. Pei and Zhou Yun. The condition had further worsened. Seeing Hu Yao arrive alone, the butler Yang Yi quietly stopped Zhou Yun and angrily questioned. "Didn't you say you were going to pick up the divine doctor? Why did you bring this culprit who caused the master's emergency relapse?" Zhou Yun scratched his head and explained helplessly, "Ms. Hu's divine doctor friend will be here soon." The parents gave their daughter 10 in pocket money every day just to prove they had no debts. At this moment, Yang Yi understood only a fool like Zhou Yun would believe in some divine doctor. "I think this Miss Huo is just a fraud." Seeing Menyu's discomfort, Hu Yao felt very anxious, the emergency relapse, internal chaos. This was no longer just a minor injury. As she was thinking about how to respond, she suddenly noticed the still burning calming incense, alarmed. She was about to go forward to extinguish it. This directly caused Yang Yi's dissatisfaction, who shouted, "Hey, what are you doing?" He stepped forward to block Yu Yao. He wouldn't tolerate Yu Yao doing anything harmful to the master. He knew this calming incense was very beneficial to the master. He was about to relight it when Yu Yao calmly said, "If you want her to die sooner, go ahead and light the incense." Yang Yi seemed to be intimidated by Yu Yao's aura, his hand, about to light the calming incense, froze in place. At this time, Dr. Pei asked in confusion, "Why can't it be burned?" Hu Yao didn't answer but instead asked Minyu to stretch out her hand. Minyu obediently complied. Hu Yao skillfully began to take her pulse. Although Minyu didn't understand, she completely trusted Yu Yao. After a while, Yu Yao asked for paper and pens. But the daughter didn't want it because it caused her huge trouble that day. She quickly wrote down a list of medicinal ingredients and handed it to Zhou Yun. "I need these herbs. Some might be hard to find, but there's no rush. Just have them ready within 3 days." Zhou Yun had an indescribable trust in Yu Yao. "Don't worry, I'll find them no matter how difficult. I'll go prepare right away," he said, standing up to leave. But as he turned, Yang Yi stopped him. "Zhou Yun, you're such a fool. Have you gone mad? Even Dr. Pei is at a loss. And you're trusting a young girl so easily? The master's health is not something to be trifled with." Min Yu suddenly quickened her pace. She had already reached the point of coughing up blood, with her life in danger at any moment. Even after inviting the top doctor, Dr. Pei, he was still at a loss. Seeing this situation, Hu Yao finally took action. She just took Minyu's pulse and immediately wrote down a list of medicinal ingredients. She asked the assistant Zhou Yun to prepare them, but the butler Yang Yi was convinced that Hu Yao was a fraud. How could a 17 or 18-year-old girl have better medical skills than the renowned Dr. Pei? So he tried to stop Zhou Yun, but Zhou Yun pushed him away, saying with a determined look, "I believe in Miss Huo." Yang Yi was so angry he couldn't speak. Whoever can guess this super difficult idiom, "I'll do a live stream eating chili peppers while doing a handstand." Meanwhile, Dr. Pei looked shocked. The prescription he had just seen was actually an ancient method that had been lost for ages, so he spoke up, saying there was nothing wrong with the prescription. Or rather, there wasn't a prescription more suitable for Min's current condition. Hu Yao was a bit surprised. This feeling of being cared for at any time felt really good. She quickly walked to the exit, only to find it crowded with star-chasing fans, but she recognized her eldest brother at a glance among the crowd. When Hayao returned home, she noticed two strange men at the doorstep: black suits, black sunglasses, black shoes, and black briefcases. Then old Pei patted his chest and said with satisfaction, "The new generation indeed surpasses the old. Little Huo's medical skills are probably above mine." Yang Yu was shocked and stood rooted to the spot. Zhou Yun excitedly said, "Then I'll go get the medicine right away." Perhaps because the calming incense on the sofa had been extinguished, "You seemed much more relaxed," Hu Yao asked. "Did you not take the medicine I gave you before?" Yin Yu first hesitated, then awkwardly said he forgot. Not angry, Yao smiled with her eyes wide open. "You're really a dishonest fellow. Would it kill you to just listen to me?" Min Yu was unnerved by Hu Yao's gaze and quickly asked Yang Yi to bring the medicine. Yang Yi responded immediately, seeing his hurried manner. Hu Yao realized that everyone's attitude towards Min Yu was particularly respectful. It seemed this neighbor boy's identity was not simple soon. Yang Yi returned with water and medicine, quickly giving it to Min Yu to take. Hu Yao instructed 1 pill a day. Min Yu didn't dare delay and immediately took 1 pill. Sure enough, Min Yu felt much better right after taking the medicine. At this moment, Yang Yi respectfully bowed to Hu Yao and apologized. "Miss Hu, I apologize for my rudeness earlier. I hope you won't take offense." This sudden change in attitude surprised Hu Yao greatly. She quickly said, it's fine." Seeing Hu Yao so easy to talk to, Yang Yi felt embarrassed and scratched his head. "If there's anything you need in the future, Miss Huo, please don't hesitate to ask." Hu Yao hurriedly waved her hands. "No need." "No need, really? There's no need. Look at that." The great Hu just showed a bit of skill and already won over this little brother. To save her sick neighbor, Hu Yao was forced to reveal her identity as a pharmacist. Seeing Hu Yao write out the lost tonic prescription, old Pei, renowned as a medical expert, was impressed beyond measure and determined that this young girl's medical skills surpassed his own. They didn't look like good people. After Men's condition improved, Huo Yao said this acute relapse was caused by the wound on his calf. Old Pei was quite puzzled upon hearing this. Huo Yao explained that some injuries are not visible to the naked eye, but can be detected through pulse diagnosis. Old Pei was shocked again. He had been practicing Chinese medicine his whole life but had never heard of this. It's like how I studied for 8 years and still don't recognize this character. Don't laugh, you can't write it either. But what made Old Pei more curious was that prescription you wrote just now. It's an ancient formula, right? It seems to have been lost. Wei Yao was very surprised to hear this. She didn't expect Old Pei to recognize it. She could only pretend to be clueless and explain, I'm not sure either, I just saw it in a medical book hearing this. Old Pei couldn't stay calm, he continued. Last time at the medicinal restaurant, she said she only knew a little, learned from books, haha. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, her casually writing down such an exquisite prescription, I would have been fooled. This little girl is quite mischievous. Wei Yao realized that if she stayed any longer, her true abilities would be completely exposed, so she tried to find an excuse to leave since there's nothing else. I'll be heading back now. After taking a few steps, she suddenly thought of something and turned to Old Pei. You should have equipment for medicine refining, right? Old Pei heard this and didn't even bother to answer. How ridiculous. As the owner of the largest imperial pharmacy, he had everything needed for medicine refining. Wei Yao turned and said, when you have all the herbs ready, contact me. As soon as Ryo entered the house, she found her mother reviewing documents, seeing her daughter suddenly returned. Her mother became nervous. While tidying up the documents, she said anxiously, Yao Yao, why are you back so soon? Didn't you say you were going to Grandma's? With that, she turned and left. Yang Yi quickly followed to see her out after Huo Yao left. Old Pei finally couldn't contain himself and asked, may I see the medicine Miss Huo gave? Li Yu casually handed it to Old Pei, who received it with both hands respectfully. When he carefully opened it and just smelled it, his eyes widened instantly. How is this possible? It's actually an S-grade pill. No wonder just one pill stabilized his condition. What exactly is this young lady's background? Meanwhile, as Yang Yi was escorting Hu Yao home, she received a message on her phone. When she calmly opened it, she smiled upon seeing the message. It turned out someone had leaked information that Mary, the lead singer of the extraordinary band, was allegedly seriously injured and the band was about to face a breakup. Well, they've finally made their move. This is going to be interesting. Can you guess who leaked the information? Fame brings trouble. The celebrity Huixiao had just been cured and now he's caught up in another big issue. At the peak of Huixiang's career, someone publicly leaked that he was already seriously ill, and the band would announce its dissolution because of this. This must be revenge from someone in the same company, it's too obvious. Pun Yu looked at the rumors spreading wildly online and was furious. But when he angrily found Wu Shan, he discovered him leisurely drinking coffee, seemingly unconcerned. Hu Yao thoughtfully replied, Grandma had guests, so I came back. This made Tan Yu look a bit foolish. Add one stroke to foolish and it becomes heart. How many can you write? Seeing this, Tan Yu indignantly said, how can you not be worried at all? If we let them succeed, your career will be ruined. They're clearly trying to destroy you. Han Yu was almost frantic. Thinking about the recent high-end luxury brand endorsements they had just negotiated, the brand representatives would certainly not let this go. The more he thought about it, the more his head hurt. It's about to explode, but looking at Wu Shang, he seems unusually calm. His eyes reveal a sharp gaze. Actually, it might be good if the band breaks up. Suddenly hearing Hu Xiang say such discouraging words, Hong Yu thought he was giving up. Are you crazy? Haven't you always wanted to make the band successful? Hu Xiang calmly replied, my persistence doesn't necessarily align with the other band members. Otherwise, there wouldn't be news about disbanding. The implication was that someone in the band was planning to go solo, taking advantage of Hu Xiang's injury at this point. Tan Yu also calmed down, thinking carefully. It was just as Hu Shang said, could the person who harmed you be Jin Su Yuan? As the company's eternal second in command, he finally couldn't bear it anymore. Hu Shang pondered, that possibility can't be ruled out. Jin Su Yuan has a wide network of contacts. He has both channels and memes. Besides, my injury was supposed to be confidential. Only you and I knew about it, yet he was so certain I would become disabled. After being suppressed by you all these years, rebellion was bound to happen sooner or later. Tom Yu suddenly realized, I'll keep a close eye on his activities. But how should we handle the leaked news? Huo Shan closed the computer and said firmly, call the variety show and explain the situation. As for the rest, let them make a fuss. It's good publicity for the upcoming variety show, free promotion. Hong Yu listened in astonishment. At this moment, her mother took the last document from her father's hand and said with relief, is that so? Haven't eaten yet. Right, I'll go make you something. He felt that Huoxing seemed to have become more cunning after his illness. He jokingly said, how did you get so clever? Did living with our sister infect you with her high intelligence? Hearing this, without hesitation, Huoxing pinned him against the wall. I guarantee this hot temper must be contagious. Come watch the boss Huo Yao tear apart the green tea bitch. It's going to be so satisfying. After school, Huo Yao was packing her bag when suddenly Zhou Yun called. It turned out that the herbs Huo Yao asked him to find were ready. She was surprised that these rare herbs were gathered in such a short time. This further proved that Min Yu's background seemed quite extraordinary. Whoever can type out this DJ, I'll livestream myself dancing. Zhou Yun politely asked, I'm already at the gate of number 1 high school. Are you free? Huo Yao told him to wait a few minutes, she'd be right out. Hearing Huo Yao agree, Zhou Yun was very happy. Okay, take your time, no rush. Since showing a bit of her ability last time, shocking Yang Yi, he was only half convinced, so he investigated Huo Yao's background from multiple angles. But the results he got were just as Zhou Yun said, she was just an ordinary person. This puzzled him. Where did she learn such extraordinary medical skills? Wei Yao hung up the phone and quickened her pace, but at the stairway corner, she happened to run into little Cha Cha and Luzia. Both were speechless. What a coincidence to meet on such a big planet. Wei Yao wanted to ignore them, but Luzia suddenly said inexplicably, you're not Wei Yao. Then she deliberately turned to her father and said, Old Huo, take these things back to the room. I'll go cook. Seeing her father carrying away the documents, she couldn't help but think, what's so important, they must be hiding something from me. Who are you really? At this moment, Luzia no longer hid her identity as a reincarnator. She strongly suspected that Huo Yao was also a reincarnator and wanted to take a risk to confirm. Hearing this, Huo Yao looked puzzled. What? Did water get into your brain? Liu Zia persisted. If you were the real Huo Yao, you couldn't possibly be this excellent. Nor would you appear at number 1 high school. Huo Yao didn't respond, just took 2 steps forward. Seeing this, Liu Zia continued pressing. Who are you? Why aren't you speaking? Afraid to admit it, Huo Yao suddenly gave a cold laugh. Then she reached out to touch Lu Sha's cheek, suddenly pushed her away and said coldly, a good dog doesn't block the road. Then she went straight downstairs, adding mockingly, by the way, delusional disorder is an illness. It needs treatment. Luzia's face turned black with anger, but she could do nothing about Huo Yao. She couldn't outtalk her or beat her. You know, tearing apart a green tea bitch, it's satisfying just to watch. Meanwhile, at Old Pei's ancient house, a group of people were bustling about. Old Pei kept nagging, hurry up, quickly set up the equipment for little Huo's medicine. He'll be here soon, don't delay his medicine making. They had never seen Old Pei so enthusiastic before, which puzzled the staff. What's wrong with Old Pei? Why is he always talking about little Huo lately? Another chimed in, exactly, it's like he's obsessed. As everyone was speculating, Huo Yao and her group arrived. So pretending to help her mother wash vegetables, she casually asked, Mom, we don't owe anyone money. Do we? Her mother was puzzled by the question she asked confusingly. What did they see that made the 108-year-old by Pei Lang so excited? In the distance, Huo Yao, wearing her school uniform, was slowly approaching. It turned out that today she was going to make medicine for Min Yu. Pei Lang, who had practiced medicine his whole life, had never seen the creation of a top-grade medicinal pill with his own eyes. Huo Yao said, if anyone can type out this super difficult character, I'll give each person a top-grade medicinal pill. Old Pei eagerly welcomed Huo Yao. He said softly, little Huo, we agreed that I would assist you today. You can't go back on your word. Hearing this, Huo Yao's eyes widened in surprise. She couldn't believe these words came from the nationally renowned Old Pei. Feeling slightly embarrassed, she thought she hadn't said that, but still smiled and said, I won't go back on my word. I prefer working on medicine alone, just the 2 of us is enough. Old Pei, hearing his goal was achieved, said of course no problem. Then he ordered all of you go out. No one is allowed to disturb us without my permission. In the end, Sharon bore it all. Arriving at the workroom, old Pei rolled up his sleeves, ready to show his skills. Little Huo looked before he could finish. He heard the sound of grinding herbs. Old Pei looked up, instantly shocked. He didn't expect the young Huo Yao to be so skilled with the mortar and pestle soon. Huo Yao had processed all the herbs alone. She then poured them into the medicine furnace in batches while Old Pei watched in amazement. Huo Yao went through a series of operations just like that. A batch of pills was ready. No, why do you suddenly ask that? Huo Yao had to be honest. I just saw some men in black suits at the door. Old Pei picked up a pill, finally realizing that despite agreeing to assist, Huo Yao was so skilled that she left no work for him. He sniffed the pill and felt dazed. This was the highest quality, and with such a high success rate, he could hardly believe it was made by a young girl. This was the highest grade of quality, and with such a high success rate, he could hardly believe it was made by a young girl. Next, Old Pei's words completely shattered my worldview. Little no, master, may I ask if you're still accepting disciples? Although I'm a bit old, I have exceptional talent. I'm quite good at medicine refining. Upon hearing this, who was drinking water, spat it out. Was Old Pei serious? Wasn't he trying to take her as a disciple not long ago? How did he become the one asking to be a disciple today? Another big event, a 98-year-old national master of traditional Chinese medicine wanting to become the disciple of a high school girl. This sudden reversal caught Huo Yao off guard. Old Pei, you must be joking. Ha ha, she said, quickly changing the subject. Zhou Yun and the others have been waiting for so long, they must be anxious. Let's go out quickly. She picked up the pills and slipped away. Comment section. They looked menacing, like professional debt collectors. At this point, her mother secretly felt relieved. Her worries weren't unfounded after all. Use this emoji, tag your favorite idiot. Let's get excited together, shall we? Zhou Yun, seeing Wu Yao, anxiously asked, are the pills ready? Wu Yao handed the medicine box to Zhou Yun, cautioning, I only made this much, use them sparingly. Old Pei, coming out right after, heard Huo Yao's words and wanted to become her disciple even more. Is this something a human would say? This little monster. Does she even know what this means? Even the highest level medicine refiners could only produce 5 or 6 pills with the same amount of herbs in one go. She actually made 20 pills, and she's still not satisfied. At this moment, Zhou Yun curiously opened the medicine box. Seeing so many pills, he was equally surprised, he thought. Nowadays, ordinary medicine refiners can make so many pills at once, while he was in a daze. Old Pei snatched the box and closed it. Do you want the efficacy to dissipate? He scolded, this is S+ grade medicine. One pill is priceless, and it's rare to even find half a pill on the market. Hearing this, Zhou Yun was stunned. He had seen S+ grade medicine at a black market auction before. The starting price for one pill was 5 million with no upper limit, so he started calculating frantically. One pill for 5 million, then 20 pills would be 100 million. With this calculation, he suddenly felt the medicine box in his hands was very heavy. Brother Young, quick, give me a hand, my legs are weak. Yang Yi, with trembling hands, firmly grasped Zhou Yun's arm and urged, let's go home quickly. Wei Yao, seeing their inexperienced behavior, comforted them. It's not that serious, not that serious. Those company people looked too intimidating. If her daughter knew they were company accountants, she'd surely suspect they were involved in illegal business. Her mother feigned calmness and said, maybe someone nearby borrowed from loan sharks. The scene changes to a luxurious villa. Zhou Yun, both careful and cautious, nervously opened the bag. Just as the medicine box was revealed, Li Yu casually took it away. The two were so shocked they almost dropped their jaws. They said in unison, Brother Yu, be careful. This medicine is very expensive, Zhou Yun quickly explained. Old Pei said Miss Huo made it. This is S+ grade medicine. Hearing this, Min Yu was also shocked. He knew very well what this meant. At this moment, Zhou Yun joked, Brother Yu, what do you plan to give in return this time? Before Min Yu could speak, Yang Yi said, why not give Miss Yu a house? Zhou Yun heard this and said, good idea. The house next door has been vacant for a long time. I'll ask if they're willing to sell. If not, we can offer double the price, then we can be neighbors and help each other out. Min Yu looked at these two advisors talking back and forth, feeling overwhelmed. He didn't expect to have both Zug Liang and Pank Tan at the same time. At this rate, winning over Huo Yao seemed just around the corner. The siblings met for the first time in 17 years. This was a broad third brother Huo Yuland. Although an international medical expert suffered from autism, I wonder how he, who's not good with words, will handle meeting the seventh sister for the first time. Whoever can type this character without looking. I'll livestream myself drinking milk while doing a handstand. It turns out Huo Yao was representing the national team to participate in an international knowledge competition in Imu country. Before leaving, her father told Huo Yao, "Your third brother is stationed in Imu country. Let him show you around later." Perhaps this was the blood connection. However, the brother before her was not only handsome, but also wore a high-end custom-made suit that made him look extraordinary. This was nothing like a poor family's freeloader. Loan Shark's Huo Yao instantly understood. Mom was also very excited. That's right, you two siblings haven't met yet. It's a good chance to bond." Sure enough, as soon as she got off the plane, third brother personally came to the airport to pick up Huo Yao. But in the car, neither seemed to know what to say. The atmosphere became a bit awkward. Unexpectedly, third brother spoke first. "How many days is your competition?" Huo Yao turned to look at him and said very seriously. "2 days." Third brother didn't seem to notice and said flatly, "Okay, I'll arrange for someone to show you around then." He then added, "It's not that I don't want to show you around myself, I'm just not comfortable in crowded places." At this moment, Huo Yao finally understood. No wonder second brother always looked helpless when mentioning third brother. Third brother is good in every way, just a bit autistic. He's introverted, doesn't like interacting with people or having people close to him. If he doesn't seem enthusiastic later, little sister, don't misunderstand it as him not liking you, with second brother's warning, who, oh yeah, was very understanding. "It's okay, third brother, you go about your business. I'll explain to mom and dad." She then reported her safe arrival to her family. At this moment, Huo Yulan looked at Huo Yao with warmth, not expecting this sister to be so considerate. They soon arrived at the hotel. Huo Yao took out her luggage and was about to say goodbye to third brother. Unexpectedly, third brother suddenly ran forward, seeming to have something to say to Huo Yao. Seeing this, Huo Yao quickly stepped back 2 steps. She knew third brother didn't like people getting too close to him. "Third brother, you should go back, it's getting late. Thank you for making a special trip today." Seeing his sister's kind gesture, Huo Yulin felt a strange feeling in his heart. "Usually I find it too close when people are at this distance from me." His hand was already on the doorknob, but he hesitated, seeming to have more to say. But in the end, he just said stiffly, "Well, I'll be going then." Her mother, anxious, quickly finished her work and rushed to find her father. Huo Yao smiled and waved to third brother. "Goodbye, third brother, good night." After a long pause, Huo Yulan finally managed to say 3 words. "Good night." Watching his sister's reflection grow distant in the rearview mirror, he felt an indescribable feeling in his heart. He felt like he hadn't performed well somewhere. This sister is just too adorable, so he made a crazy decision. Just because it was his sister he hadn't seen in 7 years before leaving, his sister said good night to third brother, feeling guilty for not bringing a welcome gift. Third brother went home and directly transferred 99.999 yuan to his sister. Just by typing this character while it's hot, you can have such a brother, third brother who has autism. Meeting his sister for the first time was moved by his sister's understanding, but unfortunately he couldn't express it in front of her, so at 4 a.m. he called second brother for help. Second brother answered the phone with sleepy eyes, asking groggily what was wrong. The voice on the other end said, "I met Yao Yao today." Second brother said carelessly, "I know." Then Hu Yulan asked second brother, "Do you know what kind of things our sister likes?" "I didn't get a chance to give her a welcome gift when I first met her." Hearing this, second brother instantly became alert. "What? This blockhead wants to compete with me for her affection." So he said without blushing or his heart racing, "She loves studying the most." Then he added provokingly, "When you saw her today, didn't you think she seemed like a bookworm? Not cute at all." Right? Huo Ulin was confused hearing this. He thought, "Not cute? How is this not cute?" So he asked again, "Is there anything else?" This is where second brother's high emotional intelligence came into play. "Oh right, our sister also likes it when people send her red envelopes." After saying this, he secretly rejoiced, thinking about how every time he sent a red envelope to his sister, she would look disgusted. He was sure this would give third brother a bad impression. He then deliberately yawned, pretending to be very sleepy. "All right, I'm going back to sleep. Don't disturb me again." But after hanging up the phone, second brother revealed a fox-like smile. Hee hee, third brother, don't even think about replacing my position in our sister's heart. Old Huo, it's over. Our daughter definitely suspects Huo money the next day while Huo Yao was chatting with classmates. The kind-hearted third brother, however, believed second brother's words completely. After hanging up, he immediately assigned a task to his unimportant assistant to collect all the review materials for high school seniors nationwide. The more the better urgently, then he directly transferred 59's 99.999 to his sister, not forgetting to explain it was a welcome gift. Sure enough, second brother's plan worked. Oh yeah, who had just finished showering, saw third brother's transfer and was quite speechless. Here we go again with this hereditary special habit of loving to transfer money. It's confirmed now, second brother gave a big red envelope when they met. Third brother's 100 yuan welcome gift. Fourth brother tactfully gave 200 yuan as pocket money. Mom was the most considerate, saying 10 yuan a day, if you can't spend it all you can't come home. Thankfully, Dad had principles and didn't transfer money. He just took out a black card and said, "Daughter, take this and spend as you like, no limit, haha." I can't experience such family happiness. You think that's all? When he got to Yao Town, he casually gave his 100 yuan scholarship to his old father. There was no one younger than him at home, so he had to say it was to buy some decorations for the family's big Rolls Royce. This might really be an inherited skill. What's going on? Yao came out of the exam room crying. The big shot came to participate in an international competition and was actually laughed at by foreigners. Upon entering the exam room, Yao looked around and immediately felt something was wrong, logically speaking. Contestants from the same country shouldn't be scattered and assigned to different exam rooms, right? She suddenly received a transfer notification from her mother, another 10 yuan. But now all the contestants in the exam room were from this country, who, oh yeah, wasn't the only one who felt strange. The student next to him was also discussing this matter. He said, "I asked Shua Jane, who participated before. She said the international competition exam room positions are based on the previous national team rankings. Those without rankings can only be assigned to the last two exam rooms." Oh Yao then understood, so that's how it is.